Space Explorer.
There seems to be some unusual activity on planet Nectar. This could pose a danger to the human race. You know what? This is a job for Space Explorer Johnny Arrow. I will give him a call.
Yes? Yes. I'll be right over, General Montgomery.
Johnny Arrow reporting for duty. What seems to be the problem?
Well, Johnny, as you can tell on the computer screen, in Sector 9, there seems to be some unusual activity on the planet Nectar, the desert planet Nectar. And we want you, as one of the space explorers, to go check it out. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
On here are your orders on this computer disk.
Thank you.
In 15 minutes, you will take off. And Johnny, the human race is counting on you. You have all the that you need?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On that disk is all the orders that you will need on the planet Nectar.
Yes, sir.
As you can tell, we are here by the time-traveling space machine.
Yes.
Once you walk through that door, it will take you directly to the planet Nectar. Are you prepared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here you go.
I must report to General Montgomery. I've landed safely on planet Nectar. Seems to look a lot like Earth. I want to go explore some mountains. In or out? Right. I must talk to General Montgomery. It says, get the crystal, big bugs, be careful. Yeah. I must get my laser bow and arrow. crystal. I've killed the bugs. I've saved the earth, and it's time to go home. I must tell General Montgomery it's time to go home. Deet, deet, deet.
Johnny's back!
Where am I? General Montgomery. General Montgomery, I got the crystal.
Johnny, you've saved the earth! What's that on your shoulder? Uh-oh!
Appreciated him for being, sort of more on the creative side of things, and we loved watching movies together, and yeah, I don't know, I think that was a very special bond that we had. And in this next one that I'm playing, this one, I can't even imagine, I can't believe that I submitted this one. I'm being very vulnerable right now. This is really funny, I'm really young. And I never imagined that I would play it for an audience, but it's sort of a continuation on the Explorer series, and this time it's sort of like, I don't know, maybe it just goes a whole different direction. It's good. I don't know what to say.
All right.
Please, I was young. Okay.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to transition.
Adventures of Johnny Dangerous, starring Josue U. Ayala. As our story begins with our young hero, Johnny Dangerous, playing in his room. Little does he know the adventure that awaits him.
Hello?
Yes. Adventures of Johnny Dangerous. Yes, Johnny Dangerous. We need you at headquarters as soon as you can get here. We have an emergency.
Yes, sir. Mom, I'll be back. Oh look, what a pretty cat. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Happening to me? What's happening to me? Ow, ow, ow. What happened to me? I must get the headquarters.
Johnny, we've been expecting you. Come in. What happened, Johnny?
I don't know, because Steph had superpowers.
You have superpowers, that's great. Well, Johnny, these are the instructions you will need for a problem that is happening on another planet. We're going to be sending you on that special mission. So go ahead and take this with you, okay? Johnny,
What?
all of mankind is depending on you.
We,
All right. So tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know what to say about that. I can't explain it. Well, no. In elementary school, we had a character day. So my mom was a pretty great seamstress. Really had really good sewing skills. Made me a Cat in the Hat. I love the Cat in the Hat, by the way. I love that movie. I don't care. It's so good, and it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know. And then rewatching this recently, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a problem. No, but it's really funny. So it was just sort of like repurposed for this movie, which is not even like a full story. It's kind of a prequel to like the actual story. But yeah, that's just another thing that my dad and I did, which I think is pretty special. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. That's like I think 10 years apart, probably. The first one was shot in Corpus Christi, and then this one is here in Harlingen, just like outside my house. But yeah.
Any questions for folks?
What were the Cat in the Hat superpowers?
I think it's reality warping.
Are you a cat in the
being
hat,
able
like-
to just like cartoon powers, probably like in the movie with Mike Myers.
I did have a question. So, who is the mastermind of these scripts? Yeah.
It was my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah, which is pretty. My dad was real funny. Yeah, he not to make it a downer thing, but he did pass away in 2019. And so going back and seeing these things, that's like the whole reason why I like brought these things over to the Texas Film Roundup, because these are things that are like really special, and we're just kind of sitting on the shelf and sort of destined to be on the shelf for, maybe forever, because it's something that I'd always wanted to happen, but I really didn't know where to get started. And so seeing the flyers go around and then taking these films over to the San Benito Library was that was really scary. But I mean, I'm so grateful for Entre and for the Texas Film Archive for being able to do this for free. I'm gonna have these forever now, so I think it's pretty cool.
Also, just want to mention Josue is part of our native garden in the back. He's the vice president of the Native Plant Project and has been such a awesome angel helping us get the garden going in the back end. So we're very happy to have your collection in our archive, and also just continuing to know about each other through the garden.
Thank you, Sam. I'm so grateful for this place. And when it's not so hot out, during the evening, definitely take a step outside. There's a lot of cool stuff happening out there.
Wait, I do have
Awesome.
another question. Will you be continuing?
Will I continue it?
Yes.
I don't know. It could. We also had other ideas. There's other things that we had come up with. There's a character we had called Mr. We called it. And then there was one called the Falcon that we just kind of like talked about. But no, my dad was real creative and real funny, so I'm really grateful for that. Yes?
One question really quick. I noticed the first film set was Johnny Arrow and then Johnny Dangerous. Who's Johnny?
I don't know. My family has a bunch of J names though. It's Julian, Josue, Jose Miguel, Joseph. I don't know. It's kind of, families do that. Also, how many people grew up with like that onesie, like sort of, it's kind of a pajama, but it's also sort of like a costume for Halloween of like a character. That's like what my younger cousin was wearing. And my grandparents had a bunch of them like in the closet for us to wear whenever we were visiting. And so they had Batman, they had Darth Vader, they had other Supermen probably. Really funny. Yes?
Did your dad make other films?
No, he didn't. But he loved movies. So I think it's just it's not something that everyone gets a chance to do, and he did it. And so I think that's pretty cool. I definitely need to give it a shot too. Something as beautiful, something as simple as this is also just very beautiful to me.
Manuel, do you want to go next?
Yeah.
Okay, we're queue up. Give me a second to queue up. Manuel's over here.
I don't know how old I was. I must have been like 8 or 10, but it's just closer than that.
Okay, so we'll.
It's my birthday. I'm 17. Marcos and Ricardo and this niño.
Don't shake so much.
Okay. Ricardo and este niño and Marcos and what's that little boy's name again?
Hector?
No.
I don't know what his name is.
Simone,
One.
for them to be my friends because today I'm 7. I got my sister a surprise. She got her 2 arms and Crystal got her 2 arms there. And I have to pull them and pull them and pull them and it got stuck.
You're 5 years old.
And then today I'm 7. But today I have to go to school.
Hold on.
But today it's the birthday of Easter and I like dragons in Easter. But I like bunny rabbits, I like to catch them and I like to hold out balloons so I can hug Miss Grandma Juárez
Espérate, papá. Hold on. Espérate, Fernando. Hold on.
because I love
Ahí voy, papá.
Grandma Juárez so much. And so I can do something in my room so everybody can go to my house so I can open my presents and thank you for putting that cracker on my face.
Bye.
Bye!
Come here. Smile nice, pretty. No. Smile nice. Manuel, stop. Good, like this. Good.
Wait.
Smile good, come on.
You gotta smile, man.
Smile. I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, bye.
Wait, I'm gonna smile.
Okay,
I'm
go
gonna
on.
smile.
Oh my god, pobrecito.
Do it!
Yeah, look.
Where's your baby? Ah, cool.
It's good birthday to you. You belong in this room. I love you, Papacito, very much. I'm very proud of you. And I'm so happy you go with me to Gonzalez Elementary. You're a Mustang. Thank you very much. I wish you the very best, pero siempre que se porte bien. Remember, I want you to behave all the time. I love you very much. May God bless you. And many more to come. I love you. Bye.
Bye. Okay, and what's your name?
Manuel Gámez Obeto. I mean, Roberto Gámez. Manuel Gámez Obeto.
And where are we?
Peter Pan Pista.
Yeah. Do you like your party?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but I wish I don't take away my pista.
Who took away your pizza?
Somebody ate it.
Uh-oh.
And that's my cake.
Oh. Do you like your party?
Yeah.
Say bye.
Bye. Bye. Say bye. Bye.
Okay, just a heads up, I might get super emotional.
No.
Okay. But even a big deal. I just feel so. My wife is here with me, and she can attest to that. I still have some of those mannerisms. I still move around. I still talk like that. But it was reaching out and having the digitization of film, and then I had dropped myself at the library. There was a lot of old stuff that I have from archives, and I was really kind of hesitant to digitize some stuff. Because I had talked to my dad about it. He kind of hoarded stuff, and he had told me, like, don't touch those tapes, they're gonna get destroyed if you send them out. Like, just telling me, like, super catastrophizing, like, don't do this, don't do that. And I was able to sneak one of the tapes out, and this was the tape that I sneaked out. And I'm super glad I did it. It was, half of it was like Christmas from 2009. And then it was this birthday party. So I think a lot of the tapes I have from my childhood were like birthday parties and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's, a lot of this tape was just messages from family. The person in the middle was my tia Chiquis, and she's super close to me. And it was so nostalgic kind of hearing her when she was younger, and her message that she had for me. And then hearing some of my other family members, some that had passed away. I mentioned my grandma Juarez, she was like my nanny when I was real little. She passed away a while back, and I feel like I lost that connection with her when I was older. And when she had passed away, I didn't know about it. And it's nice kind of seeing these people when they were alive, like my grandparents, and kind of connecting with other people. Because I feel like most of us went to kind of a big birthday party or quinceañera when we were younger, and seeing our cousins and our family when they were younger, it's like you're looking at other people. Because I honestly don't remember that. I don't remember any of that. And it's like you're looking at other people, you're looking at another time, but it's really you. So I kind of resonated with that a lot. So it's really nice to kind of see that again. And I mean, nothing's really changed. My tia's still like that. I'm still like that. The little boy sitting behind me, I don't remember his name. He was a friend of mine in elementary. I said, my other little friend, Simon, that's my cousin. He's not my little friend. He's literally my cousin. Marcos, he's also my cousin. And then I said my name wrong like twice. I don't know what was going on. But it's just nice watching that again. And I thank C and Entre for this opportunity, Gladys for reaching out. I submitted super late, and thank you for reaching out to me again. I'm super glad I got to do this. But yeah, it's just super nice, kind of reliving that, and kind of sitting in that headspace where it's like, I was so happy and I was so little, and this was so long ago, but in reality, we're all kind of still like that. We carry a lot of that trauma and that kind of childlike memories that we have, that we grow up with. And I mean, if I look back at all these tapes, it's like, these people that are coming out, some of them might not be here, but they're still with us, and those memories are still with us. And like I said, I mean, we're still kind of, I act the same, my family's still the same, even though we might be apart, or they might be in other states. It's just really nice kind of reliving that, and being here, and seeing other people's home movies, and kind of feeling that kind of closeness of, you feel like you were there at that time, where you knew that person, you knew that child, because they look like you, or their aunt or their dear or the dia look like you. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any questions, but that's my lips review.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Was it your 7th or your 5th birthday? Because there was
I did say 7 or 8.
Yeah.
It was probably my 5th. I honestly don't remember. That Spider-Man shirt was awesome.
Yeah.
And I don't remember that shirt at all. So I want to say, yeah, I was probably 5.
5.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Do you remember what year that was?
If you were turning 5, it would have been
That's probably 2000.
2003.
Yeah, 2003.
Wow.
But I don't think I mentioned it, but I would have my birthday parties, because I was born in January, and my parents would have the person recording is my sister. and we would have our birthday parties together after income tax. So that was the thing that we did when I was little. After income tax hit, my parents would would throw together a birthday party. So it was, I think, around April of like 2003. Yeah.
What location in Peter Piper, like you said it was in Brownsville? Is there
Yeah, it was a Brownsville one.
Does this location exist?
Yeah, it's still there.
We were there yesterday.
Yeah, not much has changed from watching the videos. I'm sure the games have changed. I know in the full tape there's a part where we're hitting the piñata, and that area is still there. I think the thing where they hang the piñata has been removed, but for years people would do the piñata there. Now it's inside for like safety reasons, and there's some cars and stuff. But pretty much, I mean, I went recently to pick up pizza, and it's like the same. That area is exactly the same. Do we have another question?
I was just gonna comment on that because we were there yesterday, and it's funny because I'm sure when you go in, you see people who have been working there for decades, right? And it is cool to see this, right? Because you see all these upgrades and a lot of like very monotone or like, you know, things being flipped. So it's cool to see the elements of like what this looked like in the early 2000s.
For sure. With some of the old tapes, it feels like there's so much color and so much more life in these older spots. And there's a lot of footage at my parents' house, and it's pretty much the same, but it just feels more alive. I guess color-wise, I don't know if it's the color-wise, location-wise, or I guess because there was the family. I guess reunions were bigger back then, so I guess it's all those aspects together. It feels like a different place. But I mean, if you really go out there, I mean, everything's set up the same, but the colors are different. Things are slightly different. Any other questions? Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Monica or Gladys, who wants to go next?
You want a paper, rock, scissors? Or what? I mean, mine are pretty short. Do you want to go first, or after? Tell me what you want.
We'll do Gladys. Okay, let me set up Gladys's home movies.
And this is taken in McAllen. It was a house that's located it was a house that was built in back of another house. So the only way to access this neighborhood was to drive through an alleyway. So we always refer to this house as El Callejón, because it was literally that. So to me, this house, and I'm still emotional because I know you made me cry. And I think about like,
we should have bought tissues.
I was crying. But this house to me when I was younger, it was so much bigger. And I remember it was a couple years ago, I decided to just go on a whim and to see how that house looked like. It was such a shock to see the house that my adult self felt like it was so small. And it just made me think of my parents. And everything that they did to make this house seem so much bigger than it was. It's emotional.
It's okay. It's okay.
But this house doesn't exist anymore. It actually burned down a couple of years back. So I look at it, it's just such beautiful memories that are attached to that place. It's my third birthday party. Pocahontas themed.
Thank you, Gladys. We'll show the clip and then we'll hear more from Gladys.
No, no está papá. ¿Está trabajando? No, no sé. Si van, el primero que se va a dar dulces es el primero que va a ganar.
Se cayó la piñata.
Miguel, no.
Con la boca. Es que el niño se casa de...
No, ¿traigan otro dulce?
Bueno.
¿Es otro dulce?
Lo pones a ella que lo saque.
Un dulce. Son dos.
¿Fuiste el primero?
Sí, dos. Sáquenlos. Ya. Sácala.
¿Se gustó? Ay, bueno, ¿dónde está el premio? ¿Dónde están los premios? Ay, Arturo, güey. ¿Ni uno sacaron? Sí, un aplauso. Mira, salió una del Las niñas que quieran concursar en el baile imitando a Celina, todas las que quieran. A ver, siéntense. Volteen todas donde están las señoras porque ya los van a aplausos por la primera niña. Aplausos por la segunda. Ganó ella. ¡Bravo! Mira, te voy a entregar un premio bien bonito. Quítense, quítense porque mamá los niños que van a comer. ¡No, Gladys. Sí, como que lo voy a cargar yo porque es bien miedoso. ¿Cuándo viene siendo miedoso?
Aquí, como podemos observar, está la linda festejada. Ay, ahora sí está feliz. Lloraba porque la molestaban, pero ella está sola con su bicicleta nueva que le regaló a sus padrinos.
¿Se lo meten a ¿y de hecho? También.
Marisa.
Qué rico, ¿verdad? Ah.
Se emociona la probadita.
No, cómetela toda. Qué niños más dragones. Eso es bueno, para que crezcan mucho.
Abuelita, venga a darle despacito.
Pero estas niñas son más dragonas todavía. A ver, veremos qué es lo que están comiendo, que hasta se chupan los dedos. Ay, ahora, a la boca. Acá está otra niña guapa, de pelo largo, está preciosa. Ay, pero come. Ay.
That was my party.
Any questions right over there?
Oh,
Who's filming?
So between the entire party, it was my uncle. He gave no commentary whatsoever, and his shots were a little bit more still. I decided to put my aunt because she gave like very out-of-pocket context and her commentary. There's some shots where like she's trying to get the hang of the camera, especially when the kids are lining up to swing at the piñata. And it's so funny because she's also a mom where she's filming this, so there's times where she's trying to film and she moves the camera down because she's trying to listen to what her kids are telling her. So there are shots where she's like filming at nothing, or she's filming like up in the sky and you can hear her talking to my cousins in the background. So it's really funny, but yeah, I decided to show the clips where she was the one filming. And she's my tia from my dad's side.
What year was this?
I was 3, so 96, I want to say. Yeah.
What was your favorite point of the party?
My what?
Your favorite point of the party?
There's no clips of it, but it was actually me opening the presents. Yeah, I don't remember what I got, but I know one of the things that I was opening on camera, it was like a little set that had fake nails. And it's like those fingers that have like the plastic nail on the top. So yeah, that was like my favorite thing. I remember at the end of the night, me having like those nails on and then trying to blow a balloon. Like that is a vivid memory that's engraved in me. If there's any other questions?
How does it feel to watch it now?
It's very trippy, especially because there's like a couple people that that are not here with me anymore, so that's very emotional. Also, it gives me some type of weird confirmation because I get very overstimulated by like crowds and noise and very anxious, and sometimes I think it's something that developed later in my adult life, but when I look at like videos of this and how I was when I was a kid, I was the exact same. So I'm like, okay, I've always been like this. So that's how I was crying. Also, when Manuel was talking about like, you know, how we view ourselves as kids, and you know, we think that we have changed, but then we're like, oh, wait a minute, like we're exactly the same.
Yeah.
Do you feel like how he was saying when he watches the videos he feels like it's somebody else watching? Do you feel that way too?
I didn't include any clips of this, but I do have, towards the end of this one, there was shots of my 5th birthday party, and in that one I did feel like I was watching somebody else because that little girl was more sure of herself. And there's a part where my uncle asked me to say something to the camera, and I'm saying like, yeah, thank you for coming to my birthday party, and like, I was so happy. And so sometimes I think about that and I'm like, that's bittersweet because I don't have that sureness that I had when I was a child. So that clip did feel like I was watching somebody else, and it made me think like, where is she? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess more so the kids that were coming out in the videos, like friends, cousins, have you kept up with people? Do you still talk to them daily? Like, I guess you still have that connection with the people in the videos, those that are still alive, or is it more so friends from school type of thing?
Half of my cousins that are on this are the older ones that are featured in this birthday party. They are from Mexico, so most of my family is from Mexico. I'm first generation. So because of the border and everything, growing up and having their own families, like I haven't seen that side of my family as much as I would like to. And before it was so much easier to have like these videos, especially when it was Christmas and like New Year's, and we were able to kind of celebrate without fear. And so unfortunately that's not something that is within our capacity and that we're all comfortable doing now. So I don't keep up with them as much. There's the younger ones that are featured in this video are my cousins that do live here, and so those I do see every now and then. But I have them show them this video actually, so they have no idea it's been digitized. And my plan was to kind of send it off to them, and also to kind of use this as a bribe, because my family, I was talking to Andrea about this, my family likes to hoard their videos and their pictures, and every family doesn't want to let go of it for fear that it's going to be taken away. But I just want to digitize it and, you know, make sure that all the family has access to it. So this is a bribe, where I'm gonna show them and be like, look, this is what we can do. Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you for sharing. We have some new folks who just walked in. Thank you for joining us at Home Movie Day 2025. We're doing our WACHATÓN. If you want, there's pan dulce. We take a quick little break to get some pan dulce, cafecito, and then we'll come back and we'll do Monica's home movies and my home movies, and we'll talk more about them. So, yay! Okay, little break.
Little break.
So my clips are super duper short. For those of you that weren't here earlier, this tape is from 1994. It's traveled from different houses, and I recently discovered it about 2 years ago in a dilapidated house that my family has, including photos of like people that I had never seen before. A lot of people who weren't photographed. These things are really sacred for us, and as I hear you all share a little bit more, and I'm over here crying. So apologies if I cry, yo soy llorona, that's about it. But yeah, I think we were talking about this earlier about how when we witness these things and we're watching them in real time, you're like, oh, that really did happen. Like these memories that we kind of forget, and like we are able to these inform like the trajectory that we've had as people, right? Like where we come from, little bits and pieces, and then as the person who is like watching myself, and again, these are super short. You're gonna see me very similar to Gladys in a fabulous dress at Peter Piper. And it makes me a little sad that these clips are only of me, because a lot of it was filmed by my sisters who are 11 and 12 years older than I am. And so I learned a lot from them. I was raised by them and my mom. And they're just so funny. They're so funny. And I love it. And I love that Remy's here, because she's kind of like seeing these like windows of us that, you know, she wasn't here for, you know? So yeah, just I guess we can roll the baby clips.
All right.
Record of it, given that it is super moldy, and it's going to be sent to Tammy, hopefully, fingers crossed. But it just kind of, it is very bittersweet, because these are things we used to like record, and like people had so much enjoyment, and like they were into it. Like and that's, I say I'm sad because my sisters are really funny in terms of commenting, like no se pasan. And then the images of us hitting the piñatas outside. That Peter Piper was actually the one in Brownsville off of Boca Chica. Yeah, Central, you know it. And y'all know how that ball pit smelled. It smells. So it's all, yeah, exactly, like feet, cheese, but you didn't care. Like, and it's funny, like seeing myself at this age, and also being a parent, and how I kind of like makes me want to show, like bring back those elements, and that's kind of why we love the work that we do here, because these are traditions that are going away, and I hope to see them revived in terms of how we see ourselves. And now as I see other videos of my mom and my family, there is this understanding that I never had, and I get to see them as real humans, and I get to see them in their elements outside of being my family. So it's cool. It's very cool. But I think if anyone has any questions, again, super short. But yes.
So first, two things. First thing, there was something so artistic about these clips. Just the colors in the ball pits, and then your dress, and then you're kind of just like so stoic and so just like baby. And something so beautifully artistic.
I'm still baby.
That was so sweet. And the second thing, I guess being a parent, do you see, because I'm thinking about it now, one of my nephews, he acts, I'm watching these videos, and some of old videos too, he acts just like I did. And he's bad, and I was bad. So do you see reflections of yourself and your children? I mean, did they act the same way, did they look the same way, same manners and type of thing?
What do you think, Remy? This This is my baby Remedios, and she's 4 years older than I am in the video, and I totally see a lot of alignment, and I see a lot of, you know, that blend of, you know, her father and all that stuff. But yeah, there's parts of that video too where I've always been very like, I've been a caregiver my whole life, I think. And so there's like little cousins, and I'm like, are you okay? Are you all right? Like in my birthday, and it's really funny kind of seeing those elements of like, yeah, you kind of have pieces of you that have always been there. And it is really cool to see how we influence our children and the people around us, and kind of seeing that through line between generations. Like even when I see my mom, right? Like I see some of the similarities, like, no, but I'm turning into my mom. But it's cool because, you know, you wouldn't find these type of narratives anywhere outside. And it goes back to the thought of like how genuine and how authentic and how unique it is when we take ownership and steward our own stories. And just kind of a reminder to folks in the room and in the live stream, please digitize your stuff, keep it, you know, these are precious memories, they're so valuable, and yeah, it is something very special to be able to share these with y'all in this collective way and see each other reflected in our stuff. Any other questions? All right, well, so I'll pass it on to C.
Okay. You can just leave the mic there, and then can I show you how to run some stuff here? Technical switch off. Okay, so for me, I think the first clip I'm going to show is through my grandfather's collection. And we can just kind of run, it's kind of a lot. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll just run back and forth. No. Okay. Well, it's because there's some other stuff involved that you have to copy paste, but. Okay. All right, Francesca, I think we're gonna we'll show Thanksgiving from the Pete Diaz Thanksgiving.
We were gathered at the Diaz residence to observe Thanksgiving dinner. The Diaz, the Gallardos, and the Leals are here. Aaron Diaz will now say grace.
Bless us, O Lord, and be thy gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
You don't? How come you're so alone today? Where's the boyfriend?
Because I don't know.
Oh, that's
He's
bad.
eating something somewhere else.
I guess he eats too much and you didn't want to give him any of yours, huh?
No, I want it all for me.
You like the turkey, Mary?
I think it's a little burned.
It's burned. You think George likes it? A big burn. You like the turkey, George? Yeah, I probably because you didn't pay for it, huh? Right. Why are you in such a hurry, Junior? Hungry, man. Hungry. Huh? You afraid you run out of food? Right on, man. That's good.
Sí, uno acá sirviéndole si se va a quedar al último. Que va a acabar todo, nosotros no vamos a comer. En lugar de llevarnos a comer a un restaurante, ¿tú crees que los aguantan en un restaurante? Cerradejas la boca. Ellos comiendo, quieren cantar.
Ay, pues que estamos muy contentos de estar aquí todos reunidos el día de hoy, que toda la comida está muy sabrosa. Especialmente la papa. Ándale. Está cortando la cámara, no. Cuesta mucho dinero el rollo. Me levanté de las 5 de la mañana. abrir las papas porque la señora Díaz es muy chiquiona. Y no quería instant potatoes. No quería instant potatoes. No quería instant potatoes. Que ella quiere pura papa fresca. Me gusta. A las 5 de la mañana, tienes que saber que no son instant. ¿Verdad que te gustaron las papas? Muy sabrosas. Esas son papas hechas con la mano de mujer. Yo te voy a decir una cosa. Desde que preparé estas papas y las probé las papas frescas, yo no vuelvo a comer papa instante. I'm so glad about it. Pero instantes, nomás que me serví de otra vez de las mismas papas instantes.
I'm coming. Okay.
All right, guys. Hi, I'm C. I'm one of the co-founders of Entre Film Center, and I wanted to show that film because it was what sparked my love for home movies. Well, beyond that, before that, I digitized my own home movies, but I was working in a post-production facility in Los Angeles that was film preservation focused, and I learned how to handle film and learn how to digitize it, and learn how to color remaster and do big projects like that. And I found out that my grandmother on my dad's side, her name's Ramona Diaz, had about 31 reels of Super 8 here in Texas. And I was like, what? I didn't even know that. My grandfather shot a lot of film in photographs, and he was a big photographer. He had a dark room. He made his little dark room in his house and would process his own photos, and he documented everything in his life. And I guess he shot a bunch of Super 8 too, which I thought was so cool to find out. And so when I came down, I think it was one summer, one Christmas, I talked to my grandma, and my grandma's kind of similar as we've been hearing all day. It's like our families are very protective of this media. Like it's like the last things that maybe she connected with her husband. She was like, no, that was his, like you can't take it. And I was like, look, this is my job, like I don't know how long I'll work here, like I have access to equipment and this technology. I would love to scan these films for our family and watch them. And so I convinced her, and I was able to take them with me to California, and I had this whole project where I did all 31 reels, which are all on my Vimeo if you want to check them out. This one I thought was really cute because it shows the Diaz family having Thanksgiving, and my dad's side is like the Brady Bunch. Basically 3 boys and 3 girls, so it's a big family. And my grandfather, Pete Diaz, he started a group of, I have another film in here that I'll show at the end, Valley Mart chains, a supermarket that was really big in the 70s. That was his chain of supermarkets. So he did a lot for his community. That was filmed in Rio Grande City in, I believe, 1972 or 73. Everyone's very cute, and it's Super 8 with magnetic audio. So some of the cameras had a little input for your microphone, and then some of the film stock had a magnetic audio strip on it so that you could record sound with the film as well. So he had that type of camera. Not all the reels in that collection have audio, but this one did. And I just thought it was so funny because like my grandma is Ramona. She was a very good cook. She doesn't really cook that much anymore, but and she's still with us. My grandfather passed away when I was in 6th grade, so I didn't get to really know him as an adult or like understand our connection. We're both Scorpios. We both love film, and he worked in the projection booth in Rio Grande City at the Garment Theater. So like we have a lot of like this shared history and love of filmmaking, and I didn't really get a chance to explore that with him. But I feel like he's one of my film spirit guides, and he keeps me on my track of what I'm doing here today. So yeah, in this clip, the family is having Thanksgiving dinner, And this guy's, I don't know who that man is who's asking the jokes, but he's there asking questions and like kind of teasing the kids. So my tia Mary, she's the one that's like, I think it's a little burnt. But it's so funny that we still hear each other. Like I hear that in her voice a lot too, and that's like her personality still. And Theo Pete, he's the one with the glasses and the ruffly shirts, so like 70s. It's so great. He's just like super, I don't know, sounds like whatever, man. Like, you know, like. But what my favorite part is at the end when they're talking about the instant potatoes. So I showed my grandmother like the whole collection after I digitized it, and I was asking her questions about it, and she was like, "Ay, es porque she would always make the instant potatoes from the box," and I was like, "Yeah, this is for Thanksgiving. You have to like make them by hand." And so the whole thing was like this. I don't remember. I think that's one of her sisters, and I think she was like making a joke because like. She's like, I won't ever go back to papas instantes now that I've made them, you know, by hand. And so the whole joke was like, you know, giving her a hard time because she wanted to make instant potatoes and not real potatoes for the family Thanksgiving dinner. And then, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, my dad is in the background. I think he's around 8 or 9 in the video. And he has like the wishbone, and he's just like in the background of the video, like with the wishbone and all the scenes. And yeah, I just wanted to share that because I thought it was a really beautiful reflection of like a time. Especially that house is no longer around, the house that they're in Rio Grande City, if you are familiar with that city, where the HEB is now, that whole area was my family's house, and that's where the Valley Mart was and everything. So thinking about like growing up I grew up in Rio Grande City, spent a lot of my childhood there. And I always, we lived in like a little trailer house behind the Valley Mart shopping center right next to my grandparents' house. And when I moved away, I always like remembered like being, like growing up really close to the river. But as I moved, like as I lived further and further away, like I wasn't sure if that memory was right. Like I was like, maybe I was making that up, or like maybe it wasn't as close as I thought it was. When I moved back in 2021, I drove out to Rio Grande City, and I just like went to the HEB area where the house used to be, and literally Camargo was right there. So yes, the river was like literally my backyard. And yeah, my family, a lot of my family's from that area. I have a couple of tias that still live there, but most of my family has moved out of Rio. But I go back often because I really like going to Starr County. But yeah, do you have any questions about this clip? Yes.
Well, it's not a question, it's more of a comment, but like compared to the other videos, like if someone recording just like the party or something, and there's some commentary, but there's something comical about like the microphone asking questions. It felt like an episode of The Office or like Parks and Rec, like with the confessionals, like what do you think about this, or like explain. So that was, I don't know, like that was an interesting, like a different format from like the other videos that we've seen.
Yeah, I think the inclusion of the microphone and being able to film audio, like record audio, because that wasn't a really popular, like you couldn't do that, like consumer grade, you'd have to have a separate audio recorder and then put the film and the audio together. So I think my grandfather was also like a tech head or like gear nerd, because like I think he got this camera and was just like, ooh, now I can put a microphone in it. And then, and then there's another clip there's another piece of reel in the collection that's from a luau event from a Rotary Club like gathering that they had, and they're all like dressed like in like, I don't know, like very luau-esque, and they're dancing, but the microphone is also making like the rounds to the tables and asking questions. And it's my grandfather's the one that's filming. He never comes out on camera. There's one film in the whole collection where he does come out on camera, and he's like introducing his daughter's wedding. Like, we're here at the Catholic Church in, you know, Rio Grande City, and that's the only time he comes out. The rest of the times he's the one behind the camera. And so there's very little documentation of him. And so later on, when I've been doing my family's home movie collection and my own personal home movie collection, I see him in little areas and bits, and I'm like, oh my God, there he is. You know, like, oh, it's him moving. Like I can remember him, but I don't, you know, I don't remember a lot of his like I guess like little mannerisms or anything like that. So it's nice to hear his voice sometimes and see him.
Yes.
When was this made?
I want to say it's either between 72 and 74. Yeah, I was trying to like accurately date these reels when I first started the project. I showed them all I gave everyone a copy, obviously on DVD, and we watched them at Noche Buena and Christmas one year, and there's like I said, the Brady Bunch in all of my dad's siblings have kids and their kids have kids. It's like we roll like 60 deep at the Diaz family Christmas party every Noche Buena. So there's a lot going on and there's a lot of noise, and so we're trying to play the home movies on the TV and everyone's like, oh my god, and my grandma's like, no puedo oír. So it's like, we watched them a couple times and people watched them on their own, and then I was asking, you know, certain aunts and uncles who were older in the films, like if they remember that year, is there anything that they can help me date that year from. My grandma has the film back at her house, and I think I might go back into it because I want to actually look at the film stock, and like what I was talking with the volunteers earlier with the key code, edge code, dating format. I want to look through the reels and try and accurately date them, but I think it's around that era.
Do you think the personalities are still like the same also?
Most definitely, yeah. A lot of, like I said, my tia Mary is very much like that. They're also, the family is like, they're always like making fun of each other, but like in a playful way, and then just like poking fun. And my grandma is crazy. Like I love her, and she's just always just like she's always like making fun of her kids, and like just like they're all making fun of her, and like it's like that kind of banter back and forth. So it was a very much like lively and
because it kind of isn't as digitized as the video itself. So what is that?
what happened, yeah.
Yeah, one, and then two, how did it feel to see a photocopy of yourself? Because when I saw your dad come, I was like, wait a minute, let's see. And then three, what is the best way to store once it's digitized? Like, how are you storing it?
Yeah, okay, great question about the process. The audio was terrible. Like that magnetic track on the film stock was just kind of degrading, and that's why it's like repeating and crackling and stuff. And the whole process, I made a whole 20-minute video for the Association of Moving Image Archivists conference in 2021 that talked about, it was a case study on this collection. So if you all want to watch it, like I break it down step by step, the whole process that I did to work on this collection. So I can send that to you all. But what I had to do, the scanner that we had at my job that I was working at, the audio reader, which it had an audio reader for Super 8, but it wasn't working. So I had to rig another way of capturing the audio, and I worked with my friends at the Echo Park Film Center, which is a huge blueprint for Entre. No longer is a physical space, but still a collective in the ether. A lot of artists there. I consulted with some folks. One of them was working as a audio restoration guy at Audio Mechanics in Burbank, and he helped me rig the projector. We projected the films, and then we took a line out to a Zoom recorder, which is a audio recorder hardware system, and then from the Zoom recorder we fed it into the computer, and then we captured it on, I think, Audacity or something like that. And then I did a little bit of cleanup to get rid of like some hiss and stuff, but I couldn't, and I had to really like sync up some of the audio because it was like drifting. So there was a lot of work went into like the restoring of these films. But yeah, the audio, unfortunately, I couldn't get it any better than that. So, but yeah, hopefully, I would love to add captions to it one day because there's some jokes in there that kind of get missed because it's like this repetitive like sort of thing. But I can hear them. And I think what's cool about it also is like being able to hear stuff from that time. There's still like a very present accent that we all know. I think we all can hear and experience as people from the Valley. There's something very distinct about how some people speak, and I feel like I hear that in my family's home movies. And some of my old childhood home movies as well, and I love that. I love like the rhythm and the way people, have like create language. Yeah, photocopy of my dad. Yeah, I look a lot. The Diaz genes are strong. They're very strong. And yeah, I always thought my dad was such a cool guy. If you saw pictures of him in high school, he was always just so cool with sunglasses. And what was your last question?
What's the best way to digitize?
Oh, to store it, yeah.
To store it. Like now that you have it digitized.
Yeah, so after I scanned them, I have them in, I had like an archival case that are kind of like a reel like this in a plastic case. And they're at my grandma's house right now because I gave them back to her because she was like, this is his only thing of me. She told me specifically I could take them when she died. That's when, like, to transfer them, and I had to really convince her, like, hey, like, I don't want to wait that long, you know, like, can we just do them? So I gave them back to her, and they're in her house right now that's well air conditioned, and they're in a closet with all the photo albums that I plan to also help digitize and catalog for the family. So that's where I'm storing them right now. I was talking to the volunteers earlier about storing tape media and stuff. You just want to store it in a cool, dry place. No garages, no attics, a space that has enough, you know, that's, you know, properly ventilated and it's not getting hit by the sun. A closet with an AC house is probably the best. I've stored my stuff in a storage unit that was climate controlled, and it seemed to be fine too. So I know it's hard for a lot of us to store things properly in this climate. So yeah, that's what we're doing now. Yes?
What was your grandma's reaction to getting all of these back? I would imagine she was excited.
Well, she was when we were showing it at Christmas Eve, she was like locked on the screen. Like she wasn't talking, but then she was like saying, yeah, no puedo ir, because she wanted to hear what was being said. And everyone was watching and like commenting and pointing, like, oh, that's so and so, oh, that blah blah blah, you know, like, so they were saying stuff. I think me and my dad like took her to a doctor's appointment up in San Antonio when I first moved back, like in 2021, after I had made the presentation for the conference. And on the way up, I think on the way back down, I showed it to her on an iPad, and she watched the whole video, and she was like, wow. She got so excited about like that now we have all these things, and that she gets to watch them again, and that the work that goes into doing this type of work. I think it's a lot of we don't get to see that, like the back end of the process sometimes, and so I think she was really appreciative, and everyone was very happy to have a copy. And I still get requests to make another DVD or something to share, to send to some other family member or somewhere else, and so I'm always like, of course, whenever you all need it, that's why I put them on my Vimeo. I was like, here are the links, like you can just share with anyone. So yeah, they were happy.
Just a comment, everyone looks fabulous.
The 70s
Truly.
is my favorite era.
And I love the
Fashion
integration, because you see the like film with like, you have your like camcorders and like the different elements of like what everyone has kind of shared here. It's awesome.
Well, so yeah, that's from the Pete Diaz collection. So that's not my personal collection. That's something I'm doing for my dad's side of the family. But now I'm going to share some clips from my personal collection that are from my 8th grade years. So during that time, for a little preface before we get into it, there's 3 clips. During that time, myself and my best friend Jennifer Yamaguchi had handy camcorders. I had my parents' camera from that my dad was like also took in my grandfather's footsteps and would film everything for us. So I have a lot of VHS, mini DV, and high 8 at-home movies. So we had a little mini DV camera, and then my friend Jennifer's dad gave her one for her birthday or something, and we would just film everything in 8th grade, and we just spent so much time together. And about 2 years ago, she found a bag of mini DV tapes in her house, and her dad was like, you need to clean out your closet, like all this crap is in there, like blah blah blah. And she's like, here, I'm gonna give you this bag. It was like 30 tapes. She's like, I don't know what's on here and I'm scared, but they're yours now. And I was like, okay. So earlier this year, I was digitizing all of them. I had to repair a couple of them. So some of these clips are from her collection and then my collection. And I'll talk a little bit more about them. But just so you know, shot in 2001. I was like 12, 13 years old, so get ready.
Last time, did I get Jenny too? How did you get it?
Watch where you're going, sweetheart. When you're walking around with that camera, you need to put that away.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
Put it away.
Hey, Alice. Okay.
No, pictures, please.
What just happened, Jenny? What happened?
he got me out of class, and I'm gonna go have a party. Is that cool? Yeah. Yep.
Hey!
Hold on.
Okay, check it out. Me and Stacy and Jenny were in Miss P Talk's class. The way we got out, see, it was really cool.
Baby beluga
It was just wow. Stacy, she goes up and she says, can me and Donnie go to see Miss Luna to talk about modern oratory? I'd never be in UIL. I'm not that UIL kind of guy.
And then I came out, what about me?
Oh,
and
yeah.
was like, oh yeah, you're in the process,
And then she started to look suspicious, like, what's going on here, you know? And she was like, just because I trust you all and you're very honest. And she was like, oh, it was so cool.
Hey, let's do that hug again. Hold on to the camera, okay? If you break it, you pay me. Okay. Where y'all going? Wait, I don't want to go.
Sit down, Tony.
Bye, guys. And Tony, wait. Down the hall you go.
Nina, give me the camera.
Wait.
Yeah, what's this?
Give me the camera. I wanna go. Okay, come on. Videotape Heifer going to class. Give me the camera. You wanna get caught? Give me the camera. Good luck to you, Jenny. She's in the prison now. She's our future president. We are free.
This is just total
And
sadness.
Tony, the camera can't understand what you're saying. It has no sound.
It can't?
No.
How do you turn it on? Bye.
My butt!
Look at this bug!
Hey, that's a big. Eat it, dude. I'll give you $1 if you put that in your mouth.
Where'd it go?
Caitlin, you're making me fall.
Kill it!
Oh shit!
Kill it! You kill it!
How did I get like this?
There it is.
Ow! Ow, that hurt. Ah!
Kill it!
You know it.
Kill it! Damn it! Go kill it! Can I kill it?
That's it. We just go
You hear me? I'm scared.
We witnessed the end of this bug's life.
That's just
Vagina!
Look at this poor creature.
You got me saying it.
All because
You're in here.
of guitar smashing.
What time is it, Heifer? Long time ago last week, on an island next to a highway, a girl sat alone with her friends. This is a story about love, murder, lust, betrayal, denial, beauty, birth, sex, drugs, ignorance, popularity, stereotyping, and trust. Now I will sing the doom song. Doom, 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 doom.
Okay.
All right, there was a lot going on in these clips. The first clip, so I grew up in Rio Grande City, like I was saying earlier, but I spent a lot of my middle school and high school life was in McAllen. So that first clip was at Cathy Middle School. We would take the camera to school, and I don't know if you heard it, but the principal in the first shot, she's like, "Watch out, sweetie," and then she sees that I have a camera. She's like, "You're not supposed to have a camera. Put that camera away." And we're like, "Whatever," you know, like kind of filming. And I was just like, "Yeah, what did I learn in middle school if we were just hanging out all the time and like class parties and stuff?" But that particular tape was from my friend group. It was about 6 or 8 of us. It was a big group of bunch of weirdo girls that would hang out, and one of them, Tony Shock, she was leaving, she was moving with her family, and that was like her last day at Cathy. So we had like a little going away thing, and the whole tape is like lunch, had pizza, we had candy. It's like the whole tape is everyone saying bye to Tony and giving her little gifts, and that's why, and Tony gives her this big hug. And we weren't all in the same classes, so we all had to coordinate how we were all gonna sneak out of our classes to meet at Miss Luna's class to have the party for Tony. So that was that first clip. And the second clip was in Jen's room, and this is where a lot of these tapes take place, or in that specific bedroom. It's my friend Jennifer's bedroom. She was like, we were always hanging out in there. And there's so much more footage from different ones, but I thought this one was funny because it was just like so many kids in one room, like just like hanging out in this little cramped room, like watching TV and listening to music and being on AIM sort of thing, and like stuff like killing a cockroach with the guitar. Like I don't know, I just thought it was a really funny clip to share. And the last clip, well also like I think when I started making films was like when I was 12. So that was like 7th grade, and with my family's Handycam, and so I was making films using like toys and like writing scripts on paper and like titles on paper with like boombox ready to like hit play on a song to like do the score. And then Jennifer's had a keyboard at her house. She plays piano, so she would play like little tunes, and so we all would get together to like hang out at her house. And then we ended up making this short film called When the Peanuts Wept. And you can't really hear it, and I want to caption this one as well because like Kayla, the girl who stays on the island, we all ditch her, go somewhere. She ends up petting the kiwi monster, who tells her, "Oh, you have to pet me forever," and that's what happens. She has to pet him forever, and then she's just like, "Just die already," and then she dies. And then at the end it says, "Let's go egg 2nd Street," and then that's what that shot is of us like. But then the tape like kind of ended after that. So a lot of these tapes are pretty compromised, and you can tell the way they're transferred. So the whole thing wasn't there, unfortunately, but I just wanted to share that little clip because after I seen Josue's earlier when we pulled his home movies, I was like, oh, we'll end with another like amateur like short film. So yeah, that's my collection. I have a lot in there, and I don't know, I'm very fortunate that I have those memories, and a lot of those people I'm still friends with today. A lot of them I've lost touch with. A lot of them I was just like, oh my God, that person, like just especially seeing people in the hall, schoolway and stuff, like school halls. So yeah, it's like for me, it was a very formative part of my life. And that group of friends, especially Jennifer, were like super, just very important to me during that time, and still are. So yeah, I'll take, yes.
Me. I have 2 relational questions. Do you feel that making these home movies and like amateur films with your friends made you closer?
Yeah, I think so. It was a very collaborative effort. Everyone had a role to play. Someone was shooting, someone was like all of the titles were drawn by Jennifer. I could really spot her handwriting anywhere. So like that was her handwriting, and then like someone was playing the keyboard, and then we all had our roles. And yeah, I think it brought us closer for sure, and gave us like these things to do. I was also worried what was going to be on these tapes. I'm like, what were we doing? Like at that age, you know, you're getting a little mischievous at 13 years old. So I was like, I don't know what are on these tapes, and then it just turns out we're just hanging out watching TV on AIM and making like these short films in the house, you know. So we were just, you know, doing some wholesome activities.
And then I think maybe you said it, but when did you digitize these? And Jen gave you these
So Jen gave me these in, I think, 2023, November 2023, and then I just started this early this year. So in February, I had my desk out here. If you were here at Entre before the flood, it looked a lot different. And I had a work desk in this corner, and I had set up the digitization for that to start working on my own personal archive, because I also, in addition to those 30 tapes from Jennifer, I have my own collection of like 50 or 40 mini DV tapes plus some high 8 tapes that my family had. But personally, the mini DV format is what I used a lot throughout middle school and into high school. So I'm still working on those tapes. I have a log that I watch them as I digitize them. I take notes and what's happening, who's appearing. I try to date stuff because there's no timestamps on anything. But I do know that this was probably shot, if I was in 8th grade, like 2001. So yeah, I think around 2000 to 2001 is a lot of when these tapes take place. So yeah, still working on it, yes.
Was it easier to preserve these versus like the 78 ones?
You know, they both have their challenges, I would say. Thankfully, the Super 8 reels were not like really messed up in any way. They weren't brittle, they weren't moldy, they weren't, yeah, they were in good condition. If anything, they were a little faded. So I would say for me at the time, it was easy for me to digitize because I had access to that equipment. So now I would say the tapes are easier for me to digitize because I have access to that technology to digitize here. But they did require, like, I did inspect them all. Some of them did have mold, some of them were broken, like the tape was actually snapped. And I was able to repair one and transfer it, so I can repair the others that are like that too. But it does take a lot more time, like your little screws and like taking everything out, and the reel is like that small, so it's like it's very small parts that you're working with, and you have to keep track of everything and know what goes where. So it's very time intensive, but it's super rewarding when you're like, I just fixed this thing, and now I captured like the tape, and now I have these memories, you know, and I have these materials. Yes.
Did everybody in your friend group receive these?
Actually, no. I've just been telling them about how I've been working on this collection because I want to make a film called Jen's Room, and it's just going to be about hanging out in Jen's room. I'm not sure what that film will look like. It's just something that I'm kind of pursuing as an experimental filmmaker, so it won't be a very traditional type film. But I've been telling them about it, and I shared the live stream link with a few of them, so hopefully they're tuning in or they watch it later. I'm hoping to do like some sort of compilation and invite them to all meet together. A lot of people don't live in the Valley anymore, so it's usually like during holidays or something that people would get together. But I would like to like have some sort of like compilation screening. And the tapes, there's so many tapes, so I can't show all of them, but like a highlight reel would be really cool. Yes?
It's so funny because, you know, I watch it and I see that it's a queer archive. And Giselle was my first crush.
Oh my god, Giselle was my first girlfriend.
I know, right? She was my first friend. She's the one who made me fall in love with Paramore. Like, you know, like, but plot twist, she was actually my Diaz girlfriend. So I was like, just like this, not out, and just like, remember Giselle at my mom's house. So like, when I saw that, I was like, I messaged her. I was like, Giselle, like, so funny. I just saw her sister the other day.
That's awesome.
Anyway, so like for me, it's so like, you know, one of the questions you asked is like, oh, what emerges? I'm like, this is also a queer Valley archive, you know, so it's like really fun to see that.
Yeah, look.
My queer awakening.
My queer awakening. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, like that friend group was super formative to me. I had moved from Rio Grande City to McAllen in the middle of 6th grade year, so that was really hard going from Rio Grande City to McAllen to Morris Middle School in McAllen. I had never been around so many white people, honestly. I was just like, whoa. Like, and the way I spoke was very different. And you can kind of hear it in some of my commentary, you can kind of hear a little accent in my voice. So yeah, finding this group of people, of like, you know, people from all backgrounds and like, yeah, representation. I was just like, this is so important that I'm so glad I found these people, because they really made my middle school and high school years like so special, and they're still like very close. I'm sad that I'm just like emotional because I'm so happy that they're still in my life. and that they're still such amazing people and friends. So.
Any other questions?
Yeah, if there's no more questions, I mean, I have one more silent film from 1971. It's the opening of the Valley Mart in Weslaco, so it's opening day, so that way you can kind of get an idea of some of my grandfather's other pieces that he did. He documented all of the openings and buildings of his stores, so this was just a really cool thing to come across and part of Valley history, so we'll cue that up, and then we'll close up. Okay, so like I said, that was Valley Mart in 1971 or 74. I didn't look at my log before I screened this, so I'm not too sure. But it's one of those years. That was in Weslaco. They had 13 stores total all over the valley. And yeah, I don't know if anyone's parents might remember Valley Mart, but yeah, it was a big part of my family's history and a lot of Valley history as well. So, anyone has any questions about that clip? Yeah.
How long was it standing for?
I like I said, I don't remember. I think maybe I would say, I want to estimate that the last store probably closed in the early 80s. So I want to say that, but I'm not sure. I have to do more research.
The way that the layout and the store setup was very, very reminiscent of like Toys and Global. She was doing the Callan, so I remember when you walk in, they had like a huge wall where they had all their canned food, and they had like a mini section of that. So it's always interesting to see like the marts that were before HEB took over.
For sure. Yeah, Juniors, Boys, Global, Valley Mart, Rubens, yeah. Yeah, I mean, not much has changed. Well, I mean, now it's just much bigger with HEB and stuff like that, but, you know, still like same sort of product placement and arrangements and how everything is very organized, so. Yeah, if no one has any other questions, we'll end the WACHATÓN. Thank you all for joining us for today, watching this. We're going to play Loteria after this. We have 4 prizes to give away, so stick around. And yeah, we have the memory reflections. If you don't have a paper already, if you want to participate and just share a little bit about what your reflections are of these films that we showed today. And if you have any questions about digitizing your own media, you can come talk to anyone who's here, any of our volunteers, myself, Monica and Gladys. And also, for those of you on the live stream, you can email us at info@entrefilmcenter.org and follow us on our website. You can learn more about what we do. And yeah, if you want us to digitize your tapes, we can do that here. So thank you all. And let's take a little break before Loteria.
Okay. I'm gonna start setting this video stuff up.